Good life easy, baby. We're back.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Good life easy.
Bro, today we're going to talk about the most intriguing, the most talked about controversy at this moment. Not controversy, sorry. Conspiracy theory. We're going to talk about the most intriguing and the most talked about conspiracy theory. Can you guess what it is?
Hit me with the conspiracy
Okay.
theory, bro.
So basically, it's called Free Britney.
All right. Okay.
And it's all about Britney Spears. And she's relevant as ever, as I found out right now, bro. It's all over Instagram. It's all over the news. Basically, what's happened is that over this lockdown, it's gotten more fuel to the flames, you know. So basically, Britney Spears is under this conservatorship,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So her entire estate, finances, and personal is controlled by her father,
True.
who's a legal guardian.
True.
And apparently this happened 12 years ago because she went through some personal mental breakdowns.
Correct.
She broke some paparazzi guy's
With
car
her-
window.
yeah,
She
yeah.
shaved her head.
Yeah. She's made multiple trips to the psych ward.
Yeah, like
You
she's
know.
gone to multiple rehab centers, and her full custody of kids is with
Correct.
the
With
father.
the Kevin Federline, if
Kevin
I'm not
Federline,
mistaken.
yeah. So we've been seeing her on Instagram and social media on and off, but
It's a bit
everybody
weird.
just wrote it off, right? Everybody just wrote it off that yeah, she has some issues. She's
Yeah.
dealing with something.
Nobody actually knew what's happening.
Nobody knew about
You know?
it, and I was reading these headlines and news articles, and when I looked into it, I was like, whoa, this is intense. So basically, a conservatorship is for old people with total mental incapacity.
True.
And
Somebody who's basically not fit enough to make decisions for himself.
Yes.
Himself or herself.
Yes.
When it comes to emotional decisions, financial decisions, the judge appoints you a guardian.
Guardian, correct.
And that guardian is in charge of your life,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah,
what conservatorship is.
So apparently 12 years ago, her father took a stand and he's like, dude, now I'm going to take care of her. She's going through some severe issues. And
But that makes sense because whatever a conservatorship means, you would relate it to somebody who's old,
yes, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
not somebody who's young, and definitely not Britney Spears.
Because, bro, she's a mega star. She's
Absolutely.
a superstar. You understand? She's not just another pop star. She's an icon, bro.
Icon, boss.
She's an icon. She has iconic songs. And, bro, this entire Free Britney movement is fueled and started by her fans.
True.
Like, I never thought that Britney Spears in 2020 is even relevant.
Bro,
But-
even I could. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
And out of the blue.
Out of the blue. And what they said, the main thing is that basically conservatorship is, even in an ideal situation where there are serious issues, it's always for finance and estate.
Correct.
It's never for personal.
Correct.
They call it personal conservatorship.
There's always some monetary value attached to a
Yeah.
conservatorship.
So do you know?
And if you think about it, bro, you'll only know about the conservatorship scenario of somebody rich, bro. Like that, there are a lot of poor,
Yeah,
a lot of middle class people also who have conservatorships. But maybe for them it's good.
But this is Britney
This is
Spears we're
Britney.
talking about, bro.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is Britney
yeah,
Spears. You know, she's a pop icon of the
Icon,
90s.
icon.
Right?
Talking
And-
about Free Britney.
Free Britney, bro. And yeah, her fans brought this up, and basically they got out this information where she is not allowed to take any decisions in her life. She's not allowed to meet anybody.
Correct.
She's not allowed to have relationships.
Correct.
She cannot have children without the consent of her father. And basically, she can't do anything. She can't even do social media
It
posts.
goes intense. It goes even more intense. It's basically the father decides who's Britney's friend and who isn't.
Yes.
So your whole life is in control.
The whole life is
Basically, you're like a puppet. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but you're like a puppet.
Yeah, which is a fact.
Yeah,
Which is
and
a fact.
you can't get married. Of course, relationships. It goes so deep. You can't. She apparently wants to have a baby
Yeah.
with her 4-5-year-old boyfriend. She can't.
She can't. She's not
She
allowed
can't.
to.
You know.
And so basically what happened was that during this lockdown, this all got aggravated. It all came in the news. You know why? Because her fans were like, dude, she's been posting on Instagram, but it's weird. She wore one top for 17 days.
Yep.
one top every day for 17 days.
Correct.
And the fans are like, dude, are you all right? There is some issue. People are like, dude, free Britney. Let's help her out. She needs to, her father is, you know, putting her in a mental jail. Someone needs to help this lady out, you know. And Britney came out and said that, no guys, there's nothing to worry about. I'm all right. You know, this is a part of my new project called the Rose Project. So you know what is Rose Project?
What?
Bro? When you Google Rose Project, bro, Rose is basically rehabilitation for the sexually exploited. You understand?
Is that a sign?
Rehabilitation of
Sexually.
the sexually exploited.
Okay. Oh.
You understand? So Rose.
Oh.
So it's a Rose Project. So people are like, dude, this is 100%.
Is she the founder of this project,
No,
or there is a project like that?
She basically just said that, no guys, everything is all right with me. This is whatever I'm doing right now is a part of a big project. I'm calling it the Rose Project, and you're going to see a lot more of the Rose Project. And then when you Google Rose Project, this is what it says.
Oh.
Rehabilitation of the sexually exploited.
Oh.
So then people are like,
but tell
this
me
is a
one thing.
conspiracy
Tell
theory.
me one thing. You think she means like Rose the flower or Rose this sort of cause?
See, when it's a
So
conspiracy
it's a bit
theory,
hard.
there only is a theory.
Or this is a way of her crying out for help.
That's what people thought.
You know?
That's exactly what people thought. That she's basically giving you a sign.
But that makes sense.
She's giving you a sign. So
That
you know,
makes
one of
sense.
her fans told her that, Britney, if you want to ask for help, please wear yellow.
Don't tell me.
Dude, she wore a yellow top the next post.
Oh.
Okay? And you know what she was doing in the post?
What?
She was just walking around like a fashion show.
Oh.
Like you would see the post and you'd be like, something's
off.
Something is definitely off.
Damn, but she wore yellow.
Bro, then another fan commented on that post saying that if you need help, please put up a picture of doves.
Don't tell
Bro,
me.
she just put up a random picture, a painting.
Of doves?
Yes.
Wow. That's deep.
That's
fam.
deep.
Now
You
that's
understand?
crying out for help. I don't know what.
Bro, firstly, I never thought that Free Britney could ever be a podcast topic. You
Bro, I
understand?
never thought Britney Spears would be a topic for anything.
And
you know?
I was like, whoa, she's sending out messages like this? Is it true? Is it possible? What do you
That's
think?
crazy.
Bro?
What I think is, see, according to me, this whole conservatorship is a bit hard.
It's hard.
You know, it's a bit too hard. But after you told me about these facts that, okay, if a fan is telling her comment yellow if you're actually in trouble.
Comment yellow? No, wear yellow.
Wear yellow. So he commented wear yellow on her post or whatever, and she's wearing yellow. She's crying out for help. And considering that she's an icon and how much of a crazy a person is, you'll eventually get frustrated being told what to do all the time. And I'm sure the father is doing that. I don't know the inside scenes, but if it's so intense and there are hearings and court hearings about it, there's something messed up. And if she wants to cancel a conservatorship, which she's trying to do, there's something wrong.
Bro, court hearings. You know, there is a podcast called The Britney Graham with 18 episodes.
That's what I'm talking about, right, bro? This doesn't stop.
This
doesn't stop.
Just discussing Britney, her mental issues, and her Instagram posts and how weird they are.
Oh, wow.
And they dissect it.
Oh, wow.
And they have 89 episodes out.
Oh, whoa.
Every episode just on Britney.
So then this is real. Think about it. This is real then. There's no way this is not real. That means the father is fucking up.
So firstly, do you think this is a more intense conspiracy theory or flat earth?
This is a more solvable theory than the flat earth theory.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know, this is something that what we talk about today, after 6 months, it might just be true and we can just become like qualified conspiracy theorists. So our career depends on this.
True that,
You're understanding?
And we're on YouTube.
Paychecks depend on this.
So yeah, bro, she has, her fans have a podcast. They're basically two comedians who just like...
Britney Spears fans.
They're Britney Spears fans and they call themselves mid-tier Britney Spears fans.
Okay.
You know?
So, okay. Like both sides.
So they just give out information and the real fans go and do the morcha, go with the sign, go with the mask where it's written Free Britney.
Free Britney.
Go outside the court. So all this really became serious when on 17th August, she legally requested to change the conservatorship. So basically she wants the conservatorship from her father to go to her business manager.
But that's a worse...
But doesn't that say something, bro?
Bro, that's a worse situation. Who would... I mean, yeah, but...
But like if you had to think about it, like she's saying that I'm not happy with this. Right?
But handing a conservatorship to somebody that's not blood, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? Bro. That's like you crying out for help for real.
Yeah. And the thing is, they've built a trust on her name, and the value is around $70-80 million. Ooh. And she's amassed a wealth of $240-250 million.
She's still making bank, man.
She's still making bank.
Bro, icons like Britney Spears, whether they are dead or alive, they'll still make bank.
So have you seen the last episode of Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah. Of course.
Bro, this is 100% based on this?
100%.
It's based on Britney Spears.
That's true.
Where her aunt is taking over control of everything. Oh, same thing happened to Britney Spears. She basically got a Las Vegas residency in some hotel, right? So weekly you play gigs and you get paid very well.
You amass a lot
like
of
all
wealth.
These DJs, bro, you know, Calvin Harris and all, they get paid heavily.
Heavy.
Britney Spears was making bank. Basically, she didn't take her pills for a few days. Her father came, shut the show down. That night, she was in a rehab.
Oh.
Because in the rehearsals, she said, I don't want to take the pills. And her father said, shut this down. It's not going to work. Let's go.
He shut the damn door down.
And then there was a post that I'm going to take some me time.
Oh.
And then they found out she's in a rehab.
Wow. And that's when this whole Britney, Free Britney movement took off. So this movement is going on since 10 years. But yeah, she's been in this whole situation since like 12, 13 years.
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
12, 13, that's a long time, man.
But I had zero idea.
I had zero idea. I thought Britney Spears was like retired, chilling somewhere, having a good life.
Yeah, her time is over. She enjoyed. Now she's enjoying her wealth.
She's enjoying it. Like retired, bro. Yeah. Active retiree.
But then when these stories come up, you're like, wow, bro, this world is mysterious.
But I feel bad for her.
I feel so bad.
I feel bad for her because
she's an uncrowned queen.
Yeah, she's an uncrowned queen, and to see a fall of such an icon is of course upsetting, bro. And then finding out that she might be taken advantage of, bro, that's like hard.
And also, bro, when you go on these world tours and all, her world tour makes like 100 million.
Oh, easy. So,
and it's a lot of hard work also, no?
You're telling me if Britney Spears comes to Bombay, the show is sold out.
Yeah, for sure.
So understand. She'll sell out an arena easy.
Lip syncing, she'll sell out.
Easy,
bro.
Easy.
So doesn't it make you feel like she's literally in a mental jail?
Bro, she's in some shit.
Yeah, no?
She's in some shit. Like I still can't imagine. Just imagine. You have a conservatorship and you fall in love with someone, and you're told and you're told, what is greater than love? Nothing. Okay, let's move on. Oh, so just imagine, bro, your guardian tells you no, you can't be with that person. You understand? You want to have a child. Okay, you want to use a phone, you want to chill with your friends. No, you can't. Boss, she's what, 45?
No, 38.
38? Oh, she's only 38. Oh, 30. Bro,
that's what I'm saying. You age faster with the stress.
I'm telling you, bro, the way I thought she was 45. 50.
Even I thought.
I don't know.
Even I thought.
But 38 is young. 38 is young.
Of course.
So, being a 38-year-old boss, someone telling you what to do, every move of yours is tracked. It's fucking crazy.
Stressful, man.
Crazy.
And apparently there are rumors that basically when she started off, her music label, I think, was also signed with Christina Aguilera. And she was told, it was in the contract apparently, that she can't change her voice. She has to have that baby voice.
Oh, that was in her teen days.
Because they said that her voice and Christina Aguilera's voice is very similar. Oh. And they were like big rivals. So she was forced to have a baby voice.
The label made bank out of it.
Label has made unlimited money,
boss. Unlimited.
Yeah. So putting yourself in a situation, hypothetical situation like that, do you think, would you rather be in a mental jail like Britney, where you've amassed a great wealth, you've worked hard for it, you've become a pop sensation at a young age, and you've killed it and people love you and you've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, but you have no control over your money, your life, your decisions, you can't go to pee without asking your dad. Or,
bullshit.
So that's like a mental jail.
Bullshit.
So would you rather be in a mental jail?
That's a Black Mirror episode.
It's a Black Mirror. It is literally a Black Mirror episode. So would you rather be in a mental jail like Britney, or would you be in a physical jail where you're in a real jail but you're mentally free? Eventually I'm going to get out.
Throw me in Arthur. Throw me in Arthur jail. Drop me off right now.
Bro, we won't survive a day.
Bro, I'm telling you, just think about it, okay? Just think about it.
I completely agree with you. It's
both are fucking hard scenarios.
Hard scenario.
Okay? Yeah. But if you think about it, there's no way out of a conservatorship. It's very rare.
It's very rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
Because the judge takes the call. Now, okay, this is where it gets even more fucked up. You can't get a lawyer without the approval of your guardian.
Yeah.
So how are you going to fight?
Yeah.
You understand? So basically you're stuck.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to gain out of this, out of the whole Britney Spears conservatorship scenario, is that you're going to be out in the open. You're not going to be in jail.
And living in luxury.
And you're going to be living in luxury. But
house arrest.
But again, you're mentally in jail.
Yeah.
You know you're helpless.
In 2008, Rolling Stones basically released a audio clip where she's talking to a security guard and she's talking about how frustrating her life is, how she can't make any decisions, how she can't choose her security guard, she can't do anything. She can't decide where she wants to live. She's like, dude, I want to live alone also once. But she can't.
Now come on, man. We'll go to jail.
There are audio clips.
We'll go to jail. 5 years we'll serve. And then we'll come out free.
Because at least in the jail, you're like, okay, chalo. I've done this. I'm going to repent for it.
Correct.
I'm going to pay my price,
Correct.
pay my dues, and come out and then be a free man.
Correct. I can't believe it. We just said that we'll go to jail. Like, okay, take us. Throw us in jail.
This is like mental torture, bro.
Yeah, bro.
From what the news says.
Exactly, man. And you're going to be mentally exhausted.
Exhausted,
bro?
Bro?
In the jail, you're eventually going to accept it that, okay, I'm going to get out one day. But you're not going to get out of such a situation.
Yeah.
So,
and Britney's lawyer basically knows that getting out of the conservatorship or even changing the conservatorship is so difficult that he said that basically he wants the hearings to be public. He said, I want full transparency. I want it to be public because
smart guy.
Yeah, because he saw that the fans are going crazy. So when she filed the legal request, that's when the fans were like, dude,
now something's
our Britney needs help. We got to stand up for it.
Bro,
so they go outside the court.
Yeah, I saw pictures. I saw with masks and all.
With masks and all. Yeah. With Free Britney written on the masks.
Yeah. But sometimes I think, it could be a possibility that it's like a stunt. Like people were just hired to stand outside court. Could be a situation like that. But then again, all I'm saying is, bro, she was an icon, she is an icon, and she has the fans.
She has the fans, bro.
I think her fans are real.
Do you think she can have a comeback?
Oh, very tough.
Because now people are talking about her.
Very tough. Even if it's a comeback, it's going to be a very short stint. Because I don't know anybody who's been such a big, like a child star. It's very tough
star.
If you
since 4 years old.
If you look back at child stars, they've been at their pinnacle when they were young. So for them, whatever goes up has to come down. Right, so their fame and their glory and their wealth eventually has to plateau.
Cycle.
It plateaus and then it drops. Right, and then there's like a comeback like Michael Jackson, his comeback tour. But I think it'll be similar, like a comeback tour of sorts.
You think she
or
can
a freedom tour?
You think she can have a reality show behind her?
Bro, absolutely. America equals to reality shows. Boss, what are you saying? America only runs on reality shows.
Keeping up with the Spears.
Yo, 100%, bro. It's Britney bitch. It's Britney bitch, bro.
That's a good one.
So that'll be like a comeback,
I think it's possible that she can have a comeback in a reality show, but musically, you think she can make a next big pop sensation song where people play in,
Bro, I hope she does after all she's been through. I hope. I think it could happen.
It's possible.
Never say never, bro. Anyone can come and take the scene down. But it's tough.
It's tough.
Because
I'm asking this because, as you said, that one thing is for sure. We didn't know about the situation, but she has fans and she has some hardcore fans who have been with her when she's putting out next to nothing. No
bro,
music, content.
If she's making 100 odd million doing the residency or the world tour, of course she can make bank when she's back.
No, but it's like one thing is going to see Britney because Britney is big, and one thing is that trying to get her out of her life problems, trying to help her in her family problems.
Imagine.
That's like hardcore fans.
Hardcore.
That's like taking your time out and going to the court and standing and showing support.
Hardcore.
That's hardcore fans, bro.
Hardcore.
That's why I'm asking, can she have a comeback?
No.
Apparently, there were like 50 million TikToks on Free Britney.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about this.
50 million.
So then it's, I think the comeback is going to happen. But
bro, apparently she has like 120 million Instagram followers.
What? 120 mil?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
So she's, bro, what comeback? She never fucking fell off, bro. What comeback? What comeback? Huh?
Content wise.
Content wise, bro. She already has the backing, so she's going to make fucking sales, bro. She has 120 million on Instagram. What, 5 million TikToks? Bro, what?
50 million TikToks were made
50
just
million.
on Free Britney, like her songs and all of that to help her out.
50 million.
Giving out information.
Bro, that's the comeback.
That's the comeback.
This is the comeback. You know, just think about it. This is the comeback.
So I don't think she ever had a problem with money.
Absolutely not, bro. Child star, na, yeah. Making money, bro. You release one song, you want
उसको
for the rest of your life.
She can do music, she can do so much.
Bro, money I don't think was a problem.
Money was not a problem.
Mm-hmm. I think mental health was
mental
the problem.
Health is a problem.
And I think her inner circle is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the situation, but this is an answer that makes sense.
Bro, the fans are so crazy. They screen recorded Britney Spears' son who went live on Instagram, and someone asked him that what do you think about your grandfather? And he abused the grandfather.
Of course.
And he said that I don't care if he dies.
Of course. You know what, na, bro? There's a restraining order. There's a restraining order against the grandfather and Britney Spears' children.
No way, bro.
Yeah, bro. Of course, because the father is like a villain in this scene.
Oh, it's that intense.
It's that intense. It's that, and
Mr. Jamie.
Mr. Spears.
Okay.
So the man is a villain. I don't know whether he is or no, but he's portrayed as a villain in this whole situation.
He's laughing it off like it's a flat earth conspiracy, you know? Okay, what are these people talking about? This is so foolish, this is so childish.
But what that man has also gone through, only he knows.
Yeah.
With all the now let's be realistic, okay? Now we've taken Britney's side. Okay? Now let's talk about how psychotic also Britney was.
Yeah.
So homie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true that.
These child stars eventually do become a bit psychotic, like shaving your head off when you're at your peak.
When you have children.
Young
children.
Like what?
Yeah.
You know, but then again, now if somebody went bald, like a pop star went bald, like an icon went bald today, oh, okay, yes, more power to you, do what you want, you know. But at her time, she was like, Arey,
yeah,
she's lost it.
And I think we all accepted it like it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, this happens.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw it happening.
She's trying to say something.
Yeah. But then I never knew that there's this whole backstory to this Britney scene.
There's always a backstory when money is involved, bro. There's always a backstory.
That, bro. When money is involved, bro, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying,
you know,
man.
Mother, father, brother, sister, anybody.
Anyone.
Even her brother said that, yeah, she wants to get out of the conservatorship.
Imagine.
But he said that she needs it. Even though if it's not with the father, she needs help.
She needs it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because who knows what will happen.
Who knows what will happen, bro. In terms of mental health, bro, do you think Britney is like a suppressed Kanye West?
Ooh.
Because Kanye West
very good question.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, very good question. You know how I tie this back is basically when the Free Britney movement started, okay, at a very similar time, Kanye West announced that he's running for president. Mm-hmm. So understanding both these situations popped up at the same time. The timeline was very, very close.
And the backstory of mental health.
And then now that you think about the backstory, okay, is this a before and after?
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, is Kanye before and Britney after? Because both have made multiple trips to the psych ward. They've had all these psychosis issues. And you know how outspoken they are.
Yeah.
So the comparison is very tight.
Yeah.
And I feel that I was also doing some reading and it said that, bro, a lot of people are assuming that eventually Kanye West will have a conservator.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And what I feel is that, bro, imagine if Kim Kardashian becomes Kanye's conservator. That's a fucked scene. You're understanding? That's finished.
That's
hardcore. So the similarities are too alike.
Yeah. The only difference is that Kanye is still putting out music that people
he's relevant.
He's more than relevant.
He's relevant.
He's just became a billionaire.
Exactly.
His shoes, his clothes, he's running for president.
Exactly. But the way he's going, bro, he's heading towards that path.
But if Kim Kardashian becomes his...
Bro, it's over. It's over. Dude, bro. Just imagine what would happen.
It's over, bro.
Just imagine. You know, and after the tweets and shit he's been putting out, you know, that's hard.
That's hard.
So, I think they're in the same boat, bro.
They're in the same boat, bro. And...
it's crazy. But I hope that doesn't happen to Kanye. Because it'll be... Bro, who likes to see the fall of legends, bro?
Exactly,
fuck that, bro.
And talking about crazy, bro, another question. Do you think that these artists, pop stars, musicians who make it at a very early age.
Child stars.
Yeah, child stars. They've been killing it at the age of like 10, 12 and whatnot. Britney started at 4. So Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish. No, not Billie Eilish. Bella Thorne.
Justin Timberlake.
So all of them have gone through these heavy, controversial stages in their life, right? When they turn from teens to adult.
Absolutely.
You always like Justin Bieber.
The transition is always tough.
Right? Everyone thought that Justin Bieber's lost it in the middle.
Yeah. But you know why? Because you're in the public eye.
Too much.
Everyone, whether you're any normal person who's transitioning from a teen to an adult, is always a fucked up situation with you or with me. We've all had our problems. But these guys are in public scrutiny, bro. They're being looked at 24/7. So they're bound to go loco.
So the question is that do you think that having a crazy life from a young age, does it really make you crazy?
Absolutely. Because
too much pressure.
Bro, I'll tell you why I think about it, okay? When you're young, what do you want, bro? You want to be rich. You want enough money not to do shit in life.
Right.
Okay?
And also you idolize people.
Okay, number one is you want a fucking fat bank balance. Number 2 is you want fame. Okay, you want fame. You want to be a popular guy. And I think these two.
Yeah. Because when you don't have
you
only think the positive.
And you know what? You've been chasing this shit ever since you decided you want to become a pop star.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get it, what after that? Uske baad kya?
Yeah.
I have the fame. Okay, I'm performing in front of 500,000 people. I have enough money in my bank account. But then I'm going home. Then how am I coping with myself alone? What after?
Yeah.
The question is that uske baad kya?
Your fans are only seeing the positive.
Yeah. So, bro, what happens is that they have to go through this for a longer period, bro. Because from a teen to an adult, then to a senior adult.
So it's like they make it, they fall off, and then if they're good, they can have.
Bro,
a comeback.
I think they get bored.
You think so?
I'm telling you, bro.
Because the term is reinvent, Rahul.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Reinvent, rewire, call it whatever the fuck you want, but you get bored, bro. Once you achieve something, once you have it in your palm, bro, you lose value of it.
But Justin Bieber again is killing it. Miley Cyrus is killing it.
Yeah, bro. But we saw him now how he fucked up. So
but he had a comeback.
Bro.
He's back again. Now he's cool again, bro.
But remember one thing, bro. People don't have 2 comebacks.
People
you
don't
understand?
Have 2 comebacks.
So this is. If you go down again, then people will be like, okay, bro, you know something's wrong.
So you do go crazy, bro, when you have a crazy life.
100%.
I think you
unless you're raised right, or I'm not saying like raised right, but I'm saying unless it's all about your inner circle. It's all about your inner circle.
You don't need to have yes men.
And
you don't have to be worried that this person is out there to get my money. Or just my one selfie with him in his restaurant will sell out his burgers.
Exactly. And
one picture in his store will sell out his clothes.
Exactly.
So everyone is wanting things from you.
Correct. And it's about it's a long-term vision. Because if you start off only young, then what after?
Yeah.
You know what after? The only question that comes up is what after. If you know the answer to what after, you won't go crazy.
So when you get fame and fortune at a young age,
you're asking me like I have like
I'm asking you.
I wish after a few years someone asked me, bro, you've made it before 30. How does it feel?
So getting fame and fortune at a young age, you think it's possible to cope and to have a level head?
Absolutely, boss. What are you saying? Just think about it. But then again, now that I think about it, athletes pop up to my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because
that is true.
An athlete has the same journey as a musician. Let's think about it.
Yes.
Both start off at a young age.
Super young age.
Okay, super young age. And again, if you have a backing of your parents, if your father is a superstar, if your father is a sportsman, for you to make it is easier. Okay, it's both play the same roles. Then again, as you grow older, the pressure increases. You have to make it. If you don't make it, you're chucked out. Okay, same for an athlete and a musician. But for a matter of fact, if you think about it, bro, musicians go crazier than athletes do.
Yeah, true.
So,
but Rahul, now imagine a Cristiano Ronaldo has to work out 5-6 hours a day. He spends 2 hours in recovery.
Absolutely.
Then he has people helping him to sleep.
Absolutely.
Helping him to eat well.
Absolutely.
So he's spent. He's emotionally, mentally spent. He doesn't have time to go crazy.
Exactly.
Because the next morning he has to wake up and go again.
Perfection.
And train.
I have to perform or else I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Same thing for a musician. I have to release a fire song or I'm done.
Yeah. So the difference is that basically athletes smoking cigarettes,
Not
drinking, doing drugs is you can't do
Forbidden,
it.
boss.
No, you can't do it.
It's not, you can't.
Because you can't perform.
You can't. But
Right?
you know what, bro? You're raised like that.
Yeah.
You're understanding an athlete is told, boss.
Yeah.
See, bro, if you want to be Michael Jordan, you can't do all
Forget
this. You know,
everything,
like
yeah.
Michael Jordan knew. Like even in The Last Dance, there's a very... talking about this question, there's a scene where they show that while his teammates were doing drugs, bro, he was living in his 2 BHK house just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
You're understanding? So the sacrifice was made.
Sacrifice.
You know, the sacrifice was made. But if you think about it, an artist wants that pain. You
That's
know,
what
I
I'm
want to feel depressed. I want to feel low.
Doesn't it make a better story? Like, for example, if Britney Spears says, or like, forget Britney Spears, whoever artist says that I made this song tripping on mushrooms, you're like, wow, crazy guy, dude. So it's not frowned upon doing drugs.
Of course.
For
It's
an
a normal
artist.
thing. Oh, you don't do drugs. Something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you. Oh, you're a rapper and you don't drink Hennessy. Something's wrong with you.
Because they don't need to wake up early. They don't need to. Their body doesn't need to be in that optimum
Absolutely.
zone. Athletes now, Floyd Mayweather, he can't smoke because he has to perform in the ring.
Till this day, even though he's retired, he's not smoking, he's not drinking.
But you know, rock stars, what kind of a lifestyle they've led, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's a... the path is the same, of sorts, but I think it's the mind.
So you think the only difference between an athlete making it big young and a musician or a pop star making it young, the only difference is discipline?
Being an athlete myself.
Okay.
Being an athlete myself and how
delusional athlete.
how I relate to the greats, I see a lot of similarities between me and the greats and the great athletes. What I feel
Delusional athletes.
is that it's all about self-discipline. You know, it's all about self-discipline, and as an athlete, I call it self-mastery.
As an athlete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Gully athlete.
You know, as an athlete, you're told that
Which sport,
you
my
will
friend?
have haters. You know?
Which sport?
Multiple.
Oh, nice.
Multiple.
Nice. Okay.
We adapt quick. You know,
Gully athlete.
We adapt quick.
Hide
you know?
and seek.
Yeah, we born athletes. We born athletes. You know, so yeah, chore police.
Chore police.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So being an athlete, self-discipline is the key, boss. Is the key, bro. Someone has given you the chavi.
But do you think that's the only difference?
I think so, Devang. Just think about it.
Making it young, big as an athlete versus making it young, big as a pop star. The only difference is discipline.
Yeah.
It's possible.
According to me, it is discipline. You know why, bro? Because it's a mental game at the end of the day. And with discipline, if you're taught discipline and you taken discipline in the right way at a young age, bro, that stays with you throughout life. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'll give you a very good example like Khabib.
I agree with you.
Like Khabib. It's a very good example. Nobody knew who Khabib was. Nobody knew what Dagestan was. Suddenly he comes and he takes over UFC. You understand?
He put Dagestan on the map.
And bro, I did not know what Dagestan is. You did not know what Dagestan is. And for people who don't know Khabib, he's the world champion right now. Okay.
The greatest.
Bro,
undefeated.
coming from Dagestan, you go to LA, you go to New York, you see the world. You are a superstar. Worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, not some American local
Everyone
guy.
knows you. People in India are talking about you.
Yeah.
You know? But if you think about it, he also started off young. His upbringing was right. His inner circle was right. Today, even if he's making $60 million in a fight, bro, you see how humble the guy is.
Yeah.
You see it, that this is not a show he's putting on. This is the guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about cars. He doesn't give a shit about, he's married. You'll never hear controversies about him with other women.
Yeah.
Doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't smoke. He doesn't like to live in LA. He doesn't like the LA life. He doesn't like the New York life.
Yeah.
He goes back to Dagestan.
Yeah.
So bro, think about it.
No,
What is that? That's discipline.
Right. You are absolutely right.
That's self-discipline.
That's self-discipline because he knows he has to wake up tomorrow, again perform, then sleep, then wake up, again perform. Eat the right thing.
Correct.
He can't eat anything.
Correct.
He can't have booze. He can't smoke cigarettes. He can't once in a while do something like have a fucking crazy meal or, you know. go all out. Like he can't have Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying?
It's all
he doesn't have the freedom.
Bro, imagine.
And it's the same.
But
with
it's
most
funny.
athletes.
It's funny how we brought up an athlete when it comes to self-discipline. Because when it comes to self-discipline, people who follow self-discipline, people who have that realization now, bro, always take their health and their body as priority.
Athletes don't have an option at all.
Yeah, athletes don't have an option, but
because if they have to perform consistently, they don't have an option.
Yeah.
Like Floyd Mayweather still doesn't drink or smoke. Cristiano Ronaldo, bro.
Can't.
Bro, his Real Madrid teammate once was invited for dinner.
Yeah.
And apparently
Patrice
that guy was
Evra.
frustrated. That he's like, dude, he made me play football in his house. Like, I'm coming to your house to relax.
And then he's telling him, we should have stayed at the training center, no?
Yeah.
He's like, he's sitting me down for dinner and there's salad and boiled chicken. And then he's like, come, I'll take you to my garden. Let's play, let's kick the ball a little bit. Okay, they kick the ball. Then they go to, they get a massage. After massage, steam. After steam, sauna. Bro, it's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle. And again, discipline.
Discipline, bro. So I completely agree, bro, that discipline is the difference between making it and having your mental capacity intact, you know?
And it's an answer that is available. Like people know about it.
It's a tough choice,
It's a very tough choice. I think it is the answer.
Yeah.
And people know that it's the answer. But only the tough can do it.
Okay. So if you're saying it's tough, do you think being disciplined is being selfish?
To an extent, yes. To an extent, yes. Because when you're disciplined, you have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to say no. Okay, bro, you just won the fight. Okay, you're a fighter, you won a fight. Why don't you come for an after party? You learn 2 million. You learn 3 million. No, fam, that ain't me. Just think about it.
Yeah.
You have to say no.
Yeah.
So you have to be selfish, and if that is being selfish, then that's the only time you can afford to be selfish.
Exactly. Like,
and that's the time when you don't need to give an explanation. You know, you need to leave the room.
True that.
You need to leave the room.
True that. On that, do you think that when it comes to discipline, this is the only time where being selfish is good for you spiritually? Because I'll tell you why. Because, for example, in this situation, if I'm selfish right now, I have more of the whiskey. I get the whiskey right now. So I'm getting the pleasures right now. I'm getting the benefit of being selfish right now. But mentally, I know that spiritually, I know it's not good. What I did is wrong. You know, I was sly. I cheated Rahul off a little whiskey. You know what I'm saying? In that sense.
Your conscious mind will hold that thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it comes to being disciplined, do you think being disciplined is the only time that selfish becomes a spiritual virtue?
Absolutely, bro. Trust me. Saying no is very tough.
It's so tough.
It's too tough.
You know?
Bro, just think about it. You know everyone's going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But you have to say no and get your ass
One
home.
more drink, yeah. Come na,
I'm telling you, saying people who have mastered the art of saying no, bro, I bow down to them.
True that.
I bow down to them because that shit ain't easy, and that shit
bro, ain't easy, bro.
That hurts a lot of people. You know, and that hurts you as well.
That's true.
So if you know, if people
true.
have, they've got the virtue and they've understood that when you have to say no, you have to say no. No regrets, boss.
Yeah. I can't have the samosa today. I'm sorry.
It's a spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual awakening, boss. And everyone needs it.
Yeah. Because when I talk about being disciplined is like a selfish virtue, is because being disciplined, the benefits of being disciplined are only for you.
Absolutely.
Right? So even if being disciplined is enforced by your teachers, parents, brother, sister, whatever, right? They are not going to enjoy the benefits. They're enforcing the discipline onto you. But the benefits of discipline are only enjoyed by you.
Absolutely.
So if I'm disciplined and I don't drink and I eat well and I work out on time, I wake up on time, I sleep on time, I feel good. I see results in my body. You know, that helps my mood. That
100%.
Maybe that can channel me to do other things in a better way.
100%. And I think somebody giving you that push of being disciplined is like a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, because only when you get that, only when somebody tells you to do it, you will do it eventually. But then you realize, okay, shit, this shit works. And then you'll strive for more, bro.
But it does work.
You know, of course it does, bro. Of course. Even in the smallest things, you'll
Tell me one example.
You'll get the benefits.
Like how discipline has benefited you. Rahul, tell us.
So since I decided that I have to be an athlete.
What athlete, bro?
Please
What
don't,
athlete?
when I'm speaking, please don't interrupt.
Which athlete?
An
Which
athlete,
sport?
an athlete doesn't like that.
Huh?
An athlete doesn't like that. Okay, but
Delusional athlete.
So when I'll tell you. Okay, bro. When I realized that, bro, so I always wanted to get jacked. You know, I was like, dude, I think that shit puts you one step above the normal if you're jacked. I just had that mindset, you know. I was like, bro, the only way you can't be normal and you won't fit in is because if you have like a crazy body or a crazy sort of a physique, because you know that a lot of people around you don't have that physique.
True that.
So how do you stand out?
True that.
You know, so I realized that number one, it's about your nutrition. Okay, so I realized that I have to be disciplined when it came to eating right. Okay, and I started that off at a young age. And bro, when it was like it became such a situation that I was carrying my boiled eggs to restaurants, and that's what I realized that okay, it has to be
Wouldn't people
done.
frown upon that?
But I don't give a fuck.
What if it's a
You're
veg
understanding?
restaurant?
I don't give a fuck.
You know, veg
You know, I'm
people
gonna pay
don't
you.
appreciate.
You know, I'm gonna give you a good tip, but you have to let me eat. But I was carrying bananas around when I was chilling.
Oh, heavy.
You're understanding? Like if I don't know you and I pop up to your house with 6 bananas, what are you gonna think? Psycho.
Psycho.
So I realized that eating right for me is discipline, and bro, it still sticks to this day because I can still like eat
And you saw
clean.
the results.
Eat clean.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and that's
Yeah.
discipline by itself,
Yeah.
bro. Controlling your eating habits is very tough.
Yeah. And
What about you?
For me also, it's discipline has always been a struggle, but I know it works because I'll tell you why. Because every time I sleep early and have a good night's sleep, and then I wake up early and then I work out. You know, I feel like I've won the day already.
Absolutely.
I never go to work feeling sleepy. I feel more energetic, more powerful. It's not a placebo because it's every time I've done it, every time it's worked. A morning workout is just better than an evening workout or a no workout.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because the first battle of the day has been, you've
And
destroyed it.
And morning, the thing is getting out of the bed. I have 4-5 alarms, but still, I snooze them. But when you win that day, when you win that battle, when you wake up and you just go, you see the results. Your day is literally better.
Absolutely.
I have done it so many times to know that this is not a placebo effect. This is a fact.
But Devang, just think about it. What we just spoke about, having discipline. Okay, we've not mastered the art of self-discipline.
No, of course not.
It's a
struggle.
It's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending
struggle,
journey,
bro.
And that's what people. That's why we fall in love with such a thing because
Bro,
it pushes you to the limit.
Bro, I'll give you one.
But think about it. Whatever you just said, waking up early. What I just said, eating right. Bro, that's easy.
Yeah.
It's not like someone is not asking a lot of you.
Yeah, but we don't do it daily.
Yeah,
Still
exactly.
we don't do it daily.
Exactly. That's
you and
why,
me.
Yeah, that's why self-discipline comes in. Doing it
So
day
it's so
in,
tough.
day out.
It's a struggle.
Very tough, bro.
Like I'll give you one more example. Like I remember, it's not like I ever went late to work. Even if I was late by like 10 minutes. So if I had to reach work at 9 o'clock, I would reach at like 9:10. You know, 9:15 maximum. Never like 10 o'clock or never 9:30 also. And my dad and me would keep having these bickering arguments. And he kept saying that you have to come at 8:30 if the time is 9 o'clock. It doesn't matter. You have to come first.
Show up.
And all I thought is like, oh my God, like, you know, he's overdoing it. But I was like, fair enough. And I remember I got a cycle and I started cycling to work. And I had to reach work 45 minutes early because I had to shower and be ready before everybody comes, right? And I saw that just reaching office on time for a consistent amount of time, like for good 6-8 months, it brought a whole... like other things started working out.
Bro.
I'm telling you, it makes no sense.
Absolutely.
But
that's such a small change to your life. It's just like one small...
a small change
like
of
a switch
10
has been put on. You know, once there are 100 switches, but you just put on one switch.
A small switch of coming to office 10 minutes earlier. 10 minutes early. I was never late. I was, trust me, I was late as in not more than 10-15 minutes. Okay. Just making that adjustment of 10-15 minutes, making sure that I come to office on time I saw change in the way I work. I was more productive. More things started working out for me. Not like I was putting in more effort and I was extra creative. None of that shit. Things started working out for me. You know
With
what I'm
that
saying?
one change.
It's like it was like things started happening. I saw all of a sudden. And
Do you think
bro, there's a very
do you think there's a psychological aspect linked to this?
Yes.
That you get that boost, bro.
I was just about to say that only. Jordan Peterson, he also says that basically whenever you're confused, that where is your life going? What are you going to do? What is your future? Just make your bed. Wake up on time. Make your bed. Start.
Amazing.
Start somewhere.
Amazing.
And you will see other things align. And when I read that, I was like, dude, this has worked for me.
100%.
Literally.
100%.
I just made that adjustment of 10-15 minutes, started going to office on time every day, 6 months in a row, and I saw that
Bam.
everything started working out for me.
One change,
You know?
bro. One change. Flip the switch,
Flip
bro.
the switch.
Crazy.
So that's what he says, that you just make your bed, you see other things will align itself in your life. And we just
Do you think that that eventually means that the first battle of the day has to be won? Huh? That you have to win the first battle of the day. If you've decided that, okay, it's not only about an alarm. Okay, I'm going to wake up and have a good breakfast, a healthy breakfast. Your first battle of the day is won.
1000%.
You wake up, you're going to do your bed. Boom.
1000%.
You know, you wake up, I'm going to do 20 push-ups in the morning first thing. Boom. Won the first battle of the day. Rest of the day, I'm just chilling.
Bro.
I'm going through my day.
Going through the day. You
know?
won the day.
Won the day.
So I feel that discipline is like a flow. You have to be consistent. That's the thing. You have to be consistent to see results. Right? So when you're in that flow, for example, when I was in that flow of cycling to work every day, reaching 45 minutes early, bro, you know what I started doing, bro? I started doing cold showers and all. Just being extra.
Hey, bro, you want that?
I was being extra.
Of course, you're going to level up.
I was leveling up.
Because reaching work on time is now easy for me. What's next?
You understand what I'm saying?
What's next?
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously, I did not have hot water in my office.
Okay. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
But still.
Arey, of course.
Bro, when you start your day with a cold shower,
Yo.
it's difficult to enter a shower and just start cold.
Bro, you're starting your day off with that 5 seconds of pain. You know, you're like,
Bro, you feel so refreshed. I'm telling you, it's not a placebo. That shit. The cold showers and waking up early, all of these things work.
Yeah. I look at it as a way of rewiring your brain, bro.
True that.
You know, because the only way you can rewire your brain is by discipline.
Discipline.
Right? And only when you rewire, you succeed.
True that.
So, taking it back to the question that you put out there, great question. Does discipline equal to success? We just proved it, bro. As not proved it, but we gave, these are facts, bro.
So these
are facts.
It's general enough for it to work for everybody.
The closest realistic answer to success. Now, if there was an answer to success,
and good mental health also, I feel.
If there was an answer to success, everybody would be successful, right?
Yeah.
But the closest and the most realistic answer would be just get disciplined. You know?
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
And it works for your mental health also, bro.
Oh.
I feel.
It's a mental game, right, bro?
Because I'm telling you, like today morning, we worked out, we did MMA for 1 hour at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was feeling alive.
Alive, boss. Alive.
I woke up at 6, I foam rolled, you know? And I feel like this is the way to start the day.
Life's good, bro.
Yeah.
Life's good.
And when I don't do it, I feel like a loser.
And then you're like, dude,
I feel like a fat loser.
Exactly. Oh, you overslept today. Nah, fam, your day's going bad.
Bad.
Accept it.
Yeah, it's like I've lost half the day.
But then again, that's a good realization, bro.
Yeah.
You know, that realization only comes to people that are disciplined.
Discipline is good, but it has to be consistent.
It can't be, of course, bro. Look at, again, taking it back, bro. A pop star or an athlete has to know that the vision is long term.
Vision is long term.
You know,
cheers to that.
You're not gonna make it overnight by releasing 2 songs.
Cheers.
For a matter of fact, 2 podcasts. For a matter of fact, 2 games.
True that, bro. Consistency is key. Discipline is key. You think Britney Spears had an option to be disciplined?
Of course,
because
bro.
of her.
Of course, bro. Because when you're when you're beaten down at you're beaten down mentally, bro. The only thing that can push you up is a little bit of motivation, bro. And bro, okay, I have a good answer. I have a good question for you. Yeah. The only way that you will learn to love yourself is if you're disciplined.
True that.
Yeah. If you're disciplined, It's a way of you loving yourself.
Yeah.
It's a way of you putting yourself first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the question and the answer. So the only answer that the answer like, okay, if you ask yourself in the mirror that how do I find the cure to loving myself?
Yeah.
And the answer, the most realistic answer again is discipline.
Yeah.
You know?
And when you say loving yourself, and it relates to you gotta love yourself, so you gotta eat right. If you love yourself, you gotta say no to that drink. You gotta say no to the cigarettes. You gotta say no to the drugs. You gotta say no to going out late at night. You gotta say no to snoozing. You know. So even the art of loving yourself is not a easy. It's not an easy task.
It's a task.
It's a task.
How close are you to? Have you mastered the art of saying no to things?
Yeah, bro.
No?
I'll tell you one thing, bro. I realized this, as in I made myself realize this, that FOMO doesn't exist. I don't have FOMO ever. I've never had it. I don't care.
But this generation and like our generation has FOMO, bro. We've all felt it. Oh shit, you know that, okay, I'm missing out on a party.
You gotta forget about it. If you do
for the bigger picture.
For the bigger picture. That's true.
Like one party is not going to make your life or break your life.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Nothing.
Fair enough, bro. That's fucking motivational talk today.
So from Britney Spears to discipline.
New segment.
So we'll end on this note. Last news came out. So basically the court hearing was just a few days ago, and the headline was that big loss for the Free Britney movement. Basically, the Britney Spears lawyer said that we want a public hearing, we want it to be transparent. And the father said, absolutely no, I don't want to make this a mockery. I want it to be absolutely private, no cameras, no public. And the court
said yeah. Because bro, bro, of course the court is going to back the damn guardian. The judge selects the guardian. Bro, they're on one team, bro. And that fucking poor girl is victimized. Unfortunately, she doesn't want to be controlled. Of course that's going to happen. But again, bro, the fans can make it happen, bro. It's all on the fans.
I'm eager to see what the fans can make happen in this situation, bro.
Absolutely.
So cheers to Free Britney.
Free Britney. Hashtag Free Britney.
Hashtag Free Britney.
Discipline is the key to success. We out.
Jelly, we out. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.